will counter retribution actually to heavy spin your opponent out of the range, right? But now without that, what do you do?
Amon.
Amon.
The Amon jungle for TNC still there.
Amon and Eve, maybe.
Yeah, and Eve. Beatrix is also there, so already picked.
I actually like the Beatrix. I actually love that. Oh, are we seeing the turns tabled? Because look, TNC's taking away heroes that were key to Omega's victory earlier on.
Yeah, but now Omega have picked up the Claude, and yeah, they picked up the Ruby, so...
Okay.
Now this is gonna be difficult for the Eve, but it seems like every time I've said that this season,
it hasn't happened.
Yeah, the mid laner just proves me wrong with great positioning. There's the Esmeralda pick. They're gonna ban out the Diroth
for sure,
and the Masha.
They banned the Diroth yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say they need to ban it this time because, and that was such a quick first phase. You know, compared to what we saw in the previous games. I mean, we've seen kind of Smart Omega do this kind of quick drafting before, but they obviously know what they want to go and bring it to game 3 here. So there's the Diroth ban, obviously warranted this time around. TNC doesn't want to play around that. They want to give Keren a better positioning or opportunity this time to shine on this Esmeralda pick. But already I could say, you know, both teams are looking pretty good here in the first phase. The thing is, what is the roam choice here for TNC?
I'm just gonna be waiting for the bans right now. The thing is, because of the presence of a Ruby, all the roam choices look like it's gonna have a difficult time. A Kufra might struggle with setting up. Just one quick interruption, can't set up anymore. Cho might be the safest pick here for TNC, but the angles are, well, it's not like whoever he picks off is gonna get bursted down by the Eve. That's why maybe Cho and Amon really might be the last 2 picks here for TNC.
And the way it looks for TNC, specifically because of what Omega's doing, they are shrinking down the choices remaining for Shemaya Daniel Cho. It's so hard to play without the Karina, without the Balma, without Yakai. What is he going to play? Again, if not the Amon, a Baksha, a Barat, a Ling, no.
And if they go Barat, there's a lot of great mid laner option picks available that can really mess it up. If I'm Omega, I'd ban out the Amon now and just force TNC to play something. Nope. We're still respecting the Franco, of course.
Well, I think that was one of the default options for Ben Things if he doesn't go with the Cho, you know, and then at least you're not putting yourself in that bad situation or that bad positioning against a Ruby. You are just kind of relying on the hooks, right? The hooks are sometimes the Bloody Hunt. It's a similar concept with having the Flicker combination with your ultimate like the Ruby. So they take that out. And now again, this leaves the question, what does TNC want to go here? Do they want to pick up the roam now? Do they want to round things out, show their jungle?
I mean, am I sniffing an Atlas out there?
Atlas.
Ben Thing still has his Edith, and if he catches out the Ruby, he doesn't need to worry about not getting interrupted. About getting interrupted, rather. All right, Grok still up in the board. Okay.
They're happy again.
Yeah, that's
Omega
good.
have been so reliant on physical damage. Yeah. The big old Grok's gonna do good here.
Yeah, one big wild charge. Great against Ruby.
OBW.
Oh.
See.
Yes.
One big wild charge.
One big wild charge.
One big.
Okay.
Could help again because the pull actually positions you.
Yeah.
So it might be something that TNC's looking for. But Nico's been on fire with his Ruby so far. I'm pretty sure he knows that that's possible. He knows that he might watch out. But again, you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually hop through the Guardian's barrier as the Ruby.
I think so.
I actually would want to see a Ruby go in the XP lane. I wouldn't mind a Ruby in the XP lane in this scenario. Uranus might still be the pick though. Okay, there.
Safer.
Yeah, safer.
Safest choice, kind of just evens out that XP lane, and then you get the Lilia here. That's your, you know, base of your magic damage.
I love the Lilia.
The Lilia is a good option.
So good against the Grok.
Amon, come on. He already showed it. Go
Amon.
or Assassin burst. Ling.
Yeah, it's basically SD, right? You're waiting for SD. One more thing I love about the Lilia is you can actually just cancel or, again, it's up to you when you take the fight against the Eve.
Yeah.
You can just walk in on RWM, call it off, then go again.
Yeah. You can also just, if you play it down to the micro aspect, you can actually bait a lot of the ultimates out from the side of TNC, just with having a black shoes, right? So that's something they'll have to be cautious of. The last pick is going to be a Thamus.
Jungle Thamus, we don't see as often anymore.
Yeah.
We don't, but I feel like it's almost, with all those bans targeted towards SD here, this might be one of the safest bets for him to take to the jungle.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's going to be TNC in the same scenario that Omega was in game number 2. Maybe this time TNC, with them being more decisive, might be able to catch Omega off guard. But they're still going to be going up against a Ruby that just won the MVP last game. And they're also up against a Lilia that just tosses a lot of things that the Bea, Esme, Gronk, and Toms need to avoid. Escalera is an X factor here for TNC.
It's called Shadow. No.
Glue.
The Gloom
is the little pet thing
that
she
she throws out.
Just bad energy. We'll call it.
Shadow energy. Yeah. Shadow energy is
basically
the thing.
bad energy.
Yes.
Bad juju.
Yeah. There you go.
Here we go. Game 3.
Here we go. A lot of whole energy here. Again, a lot on the line still here. For the rest of the weeks ahead for TNC. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3, Omega and TNC, game 3.
Look at all those sprints on the side of Omega. I feel like right after the real world manipulation drops, they're all just going to run on out of there. It's going to be even tougher for Escalera. Ren's just going to be annoying that Eve. KELRA, of course, blazing to it into the back line there.
Man, so they're actually just going to plant Miko down here for now to go ahead and help KELRA a little bit here. And, you know, in terms of the gold lane matchup, I mean, whenever you have a Claude on your side, you have that farm factor. Beatrix can do the same to an extent, but entries for Claude, especially mid to late game, is pretty devastating.
Let's see who's going to get the Little Wanderer here. Very key for both teams. It looks like it's secure for Ryzen.
So slow and steady for these two. Probably won't see a big team fight up until the first turtle. No big invades. Invades for information, yes. Get a Scaled Blizzard, a Crammer, an Ursa or two, but nothing massive happening for another 42 seconds unless they go for a pickoff.
SD got it. He stole a small camp up top.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I mentioned that we'll just be seeing small invades here and there.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty good though.
I mean, in this situation, especially if you're TNC, you might as well just go and be as stable as possible in this first portion of the game, because still you want to be able to scale up really well. You want to be able to utilize the fighting potential around objectives that you have when you draft this Eve pick and really go for your favor. Again, it's difficult to pick even Renzio off on this Uranus, despite him not even having his ultimate just yet, as he'll get it just now. You can't really find picks off. So now, the first objective of the game coming up, you're going to see both teams kind of crowd around this area aside from the gold laners.
Yeah, just two beefy boys staring at each other while their teammates are just fighting all around them. They're both just going to wait for the last moment of retribution. Well, for Ryzen to ultimate and retribution.
Yeah. So it's a clearer goal for Omega here. Again, they have nothing. They have very few things to actually stop Ryzen from doing just that. Cram here zoned out by KLVJ and Ryzen. Soft reset on the turtle here. Great pull by Omega. Zone control by Miko and Renzio, pushing away SD. Escalera and Ben things, but watch out, there is still that wild charge. Guard barrier up, and the RWM, the pull, and the stun.
Reaches.
Down goes Ryzen, secured by SSEYZ. The turtle goes over to TNC.
Fantastic positioning there by Escalera, and a great wall plus wild charge by Ben Things. It honestly looked dire for TNC. SDZYZ was forced to use a Conan Inferno very early, so during that scramble he did not have his ultimate. But at the end, TNC walks away with the turtle and the kill.
Man, how do you play against that lethal counter combination with the Retribution? You stun him, and that's exactly what they did. That's something that I feel like Ryzen, it's difficult to escape, because first, the zone from the real world manipulation is already going to make an impact, and then you have to deal with the Guardian's barrier, the wall from the Gronk, right, from Ben things. So there's a lot of things that make it harder. Usually when people pick the Ballman, they're like, man, these objectives are easy. They're a breeze. But with this against them, it actually makes it quite difficult for Ryzen here.
Yeah, between TNC having very few things to stop Ryzen, Omega literally has just one. They only have one actual sure hold, and it's not even that sure because Miko has to find a good position for the pull. Oh, Escalera answers back Oh, he obliges with the RWM for sure. There's a counter inferno by SDZYZ and TNC pull out.
Oh, Escalera actually first building the Enchanted Talisman. Usually the build path for Eves is Ice Queen 1 first, and then maybe the Enchanted Talisman or the Genius 1. But Escalera prioritizing the mana regen and the cooldown reduction. Quicker access to the real-world manipulation seems like it's what he's going for.
Yeah, and you know, even having that mystery shop here, I think this is exactly what Escalera needs to do, is scale really fast, as fast as you can on this pick for the Eve, because again, there's so much reliance on fighting those objectives later on. That's going to be key, especially playing against the Ballman here. And then you guys even mentioned it, the way that Miko played late last game, even getting the MVP on this same pick, it's pretty deadly.
Oh, that's 3 men on Renzio. He pops just the shields, actually. The dash out, he still has a consecration and the sprint. That's release control for Renzio. He knows what he needs to survive. And there's the RWM by Escalera. Very low. Rise secures it with a lethal counter and retribution combo. And that is a clear sign for TNC to pull out. They're not done because Miko pulls them back in. KELRA secures the kill on the Ben Things. And that's a clear win for Omega.
Now Omega with their counter punch. Great team play there. They got knocked up by Ben Thinks' wild charge, not close to the wall, so they didn't get stunned. And I think what Ben Thinks was going for was, yes, he wild charged back to help out Escalera, but at the same time, I think he was crossing his fingers that the knockup would last long enough that he didn't need to worry about that lethal counter. But right the moment Ryzen landed, lethal counter, retry, turtle goes to Omega.
Yeah, and like I said, they have the tools to stop Ryzen from doing that, but that time, Ryzen able to come out on top of that one, grabbing the second turtle of the game. And that's going to become a lot more apparent for TNC. You have to be thinking, okay, we need to perfect this time or perfect that positioning, because that is our ace up our sleeve to deal with this as the lords start to come up later on in the game. Something they have to figure out, because that will be a huge factor on those objectives later on. And now we see them focusing here on the bottom side.
Oh, gotta respect Yasuo's damage. Escalera drawing the line. You can only fight under here because we're gonna take this tier 1 turret. Actually, not a lot committed by TNC to take that. It's a huge win for them. That bottom part of the map gonna be tough for KELRA to farm in.
Yeah, and now it seems like TNC has woken up. They're decisive, they're relentless. They don't look for that picture-perfect setup. They just play for whatever's right in front of them, try to make something happen. That's what they did in game number 1, and now it's working out for them here in the early game.
Interesting move here by Ryzen, committing the lethal counter, threatening a small camp takeaway from SDZYZ.
I think he knows that they're going to bounce this last turtle of the game around for a little bit. He should have the ultimate back available by the time they actually commit to it, unless TNC has that information, like I said, you know, to kind of deal with it. But they are going to give this one a little more aggressive go here.
He has it back, the ultimate.
Here we go. They take it, and I'm guessing very key what Ryzen did there. It was a long con, but he made sure that with that little scramble, he made sure that the damage, SDZYZ, was purple free.
Yeah. Great call there, and great instinct by Ryzen to trust that it will be back in time. Careful eye there on those timers. No problem for Omega for that turtle. Next play for Omega, they have to get a turret down.
So it's at this point, again, you know, both of the side lanes here at this point, I feel like even KELRA and Yasuo, they've been in vacation mode. SD taking the damage, but you're just going to be fine. Poking continues, but still, we haven't actually seen the factor just yet for both gold laners as KELRA picks up a next big item for him. Let's take a look at the items.
Golden Staff even under sword, so there's go time already for KELRA, and we saw Yasuo build his Blade of Despair around 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. Either the Hunter Strike or the Malefic Roar is the next build for him. I'd want to see him build up the Malefic Roar right away. Go for that big damage. You're up against Uranus.
Renzio may have gone a little too deep.
I don't think he was expecting Ben Things and Yasuo to be back at base that quick, because it was the wild charge that really helped them out there. So, yeah, a little minor mistake from Renzio, but still, you know, they hold on to a very minor gold lead for now.
Oh, Miko and KELRA have plans for Cram. Let's see if they're going to get their man. KELVJ here as well.
He's got the sprint.
From the north, gets into that Cyclone Eye and gets away.
Huge slap there for Cram, and no kill given to Omega.
Whoa.
Another turret quickly taken by TNC up in the top lane. Seems like Cram's little escapade, but TNC that spacing and that time.
That's what Cram's so good at.
Would you say Cram bought time?
Yeah,
Cram
Cram
time.
time.
Cram time. We go back to the Cram time, right?
Yep.
Again, that's what he's so good at. He's good at just... Honestly, if you think about the XP laners out there in the league and everything, in the multiple regions, the ones that can force pressure on the lane, that's how they're successful, right? But already, initiation coming out.
Bente's coming in with a concealed play, confirming a kill onto Miko. Despite that, Ryzen, though, keeping this position. KELRA forcing out Cram to make a move. SCCYZ as well. Yasuo, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He knows.
He does because
he saw.
Creeps did not come out alive. Look at this. SCCYZ gets hit with a lethal counter, survives between Renzio and Ryzen, but not for long.
He's down.
He's down, and that's a kill for Omega. TNC unable to capitalize with that first pickoff because just as quickly Nico's back on the map. And this gives Omega a 2-man advantage for this first Lord.
TNC split up in that fight. Omega knew that they could get kills, and they got him. SCCYZ 10 seconds until he gets back. This Lord might go to the hands of Omega.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to grab this one as the conceal comes out. They're going to push them back here, and that's going to be a Lord secured for Omega. First one of the game.
Clean take.
Yep.
Oh, that was a strategic trade.
Yeah, very well worth it. KELRA eats up a sniper shot by Yasuo, a warning. How much is Beatrix hurt? KELRA's damage at this point also is no laughing matter. So TNC have to watch out. Escalera's timing and positioning with his real-world manipulation, very important for TNC.
I mean, one thing is TNC does have good clear. They should be able to handle this first Lord just fine, plus manage the waves. The thing is I mean, even before all that happened, before it unfolded, you even saw Cram kind of a little too aggressive into that turret. The tier 1 is still up, ended up going down trying to find KELRA, and now again they're on the defense here. We're seeing TNC really have to be together to go against this Omega lineup right now.
This is a Phoenix flavored ube, which is interesting because
Spicy.
It's spicy, and prior to this, TNC was actually all across the map, and so quickly how Omega actually flipped that and forced them to stick.
No wonder why that Beatrix hurt. He did build that Malefic Roar, also has the wind in nature. Same goes for KELRA.
Well, there you go. They handle the Lord here. They're still holding on to the tier 1 in both the mid lane for both teams. And again, it's at this point where the next Lord does come up, you want to get those tier 1s down.
Oh, there's a concealed play. That's 4 men burying Renzio in the bottom lane.
And that's going to force Omega to put bodies and resources in the mid and potentially the bot lane. Yasuo making the right call to clear up that minion wave. Is going to force Omega to split the map a little bit more than they would want to.
But that's a hell of a lot of ults committed by TNC. They might not be able to take this. There's the RWM and the counter Inferno. Look at KELRA going in deep with the blazing duet. Doesn't find Escalera. He survives, and both teams walk away with no casualties.
Yasuo grabs another turret on the bottom side. With all that action happening in the mid lane, that was a great job by Escalera to survive that.
That's what you get with a man advantage. You don't notice that this one dude's working down bottom, and you lose a permanent structure, just like that.
Great decisive call there by TNC, and that's why Sprint has become the new favorite spell for a lot of mages, a lot of marksmen. If Escalera had something else other than a Sprint, he wouldn't have survived KELRA's onslaught there. He barely got away, though, but he got away. It's what's important.
Yeah, I mean, don't give any kills over to KELRA if you can. And Escalera, again, doing a great job there. Still, though, with less than 30 seconds for that next Lord, both teams want to grab these tier 1 turrets if they can, get that space advantage, or just find a pickoff. That's why we see them trying to put pressure on both of the side lanes, manage those waves, and a lot of conceal plays are initiated, just sometimes they're not resulting into a kill. But here comes one from TNC as they get in position here on the bottom side.
Oh, Miko checking this bush, and there's the wild charge. Yasuo erases him with the Wesker.
Good read by both roamers, knowing that something's not right here. Yasuo has a shotgun ready. Down goes Ruby. And will Omega contest this? They still have the threat of their blazing duet that could split up TNC and just give enough opening for Ryzen to secure the Lord.
Yeah, this is still going to be tough. Lord is still
but KELRA!
But KELRA, that's tough. Can actually they pull this off? Bentings grabs the kill.
That was off cam. Bentings committing the flicker. More than worth it because TNC gets a clear go at this Lord. It is a luminous Lord with no members of Omega present to even think about contesting.
Mobile 101. It's all about trades. It's all about action and consequence. One little thing can lead to a massive result. And TNC just compounded little decisions one after the other into a massive win. The Lord is in their hands, an opportunity to keep their playoffs hopes alive even longer.
Man, just what a play. The entire last couple minutes here has been a great option just for TNC to come back and swing things further in their favor as they have with the gold lead. They get more turrets out of this. This is going to be a beefed up Lord, a little bit more luminous Lord, so it's going to be marching down the top side, which they have to deal with.
And it can jump.
And it can jump.
Watch out. Here it is. Crashing into that inhibitor, cutting it in half. Let's see, there's ults on both sides. Battle spells abound as well. About 25 seconds before Bentings gets his. Very key in TNC's victories so far in this game number 3. KELRA trying to clear this wave. Ryzen helping out as well. Good defense by Omega.
All damage for Yasuo. Blade of the Heptasis is what he built. Cram, knowing that he's comfortable with the lead, builds an Ice Queen wand. Wants to really slow down the member self Omega. It's just gonna add up with all the slows that TNC already has with their Eve. I'm sure SSDYZ can dish out some slows as well if he built either the corrosion side or the dominance ice.
Right down.
The scary thing for TNC is even with this, we've seen a single Blazing Duet turn tides.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to pop a conceal here, but I don't think they're going to be able to catch anyone. Just getting some vision back into their side of the jungle because the purple is going to be coming up here shortly. So right now, Omega on the defense, but look at Yasuo as well.
Oh, Ryzen, even Ryzen should be in trouble here. Walks in. Ooh, no dice. Close call though. But Ryzen on a third of his health.
Good block by Miko with the snipe.
And giving over the orange to KELRA. That was it was too close for comfort.
So tanky bombman, it's all the muscles that Orc has. And the items, of course.
There's a lot of basketball.
Yeah, a lot of basketball. The basketball skin. But still, I mean, you could see the damage that Yasuo is pumping out here. And going back to the point, KELRA, if he is able to find the proper Blazing Duet that forces everyone back. I know there's 2 sprints on the side for TNC too, but they've got to be careful of that. That still is a big factor here for Omega, what they're relying on too. And even KillVJ, I mean, KillVJ hasn't been able to do too much on this Lilia pick, but if he's able to somehow bait out the right ultimates against the next Lord here now coming up, that's going to be crucial for them. But TNC obviously with this position factor in their favor as they go ahead and pull out the Lord.
What these two teams have are great lineups for defending. So TNC still has to check out a lot of bosses to make sure that they can successfully siege the base of Omega. And later, if ever Omega find the lead and are the ones sieging TNC, they have to do the same.
Look at that deep cut by both Renzio and Cram. This keeps it at equilibrium, so at least 2 teams they're aware that they're both missing a man. And so far, neither are so gung-ho about taking this Lord.
Oh, they're going for Renzio.
Going for Renzio.
Uh-oh. That's 2. That's Yasuo and Bentings. That gives OMG here the blitz. They can try to go for the blitz, but look at Crab. There's the jump in. KELRA secures it. There's a huge knock-up. And now this leaves Crab in the middle of 3 members. Now Miko in trouble. Can he survive? Answers no. Yasuo takes him down. But for the price of a Lord, I'll take it.
TNC, let's see how fast they'll be able to clear this Lord if they could. Seems like Omega are going to be able to push with it. The gambit of trying to rush to the top lane to try and take down Renjo did not happen. I think for TNC, they expected Renjo to go through the orange buff area of their jungle, but no, Renjo backed off, going into the shrub. And now this Lord is on the hands of Omega, taken by KELRA earlier. TNC have their work cut out for them with this, but it seems like they're going to be aggressive with taking this down. They know they can't let it near anywhere near their base.
Yeah, they saw the shot there. They got the information that they needed. Yep. They're going to go ahead and handle this Lord on the top side. They still have the waves pushing in too, but again, Omega looks like they might actually want to try something here.
Oh, it trying to get Yasuo, and there's the wild charge by Ben Things. Ryzen in trouble, taken down by SD. And look at the back line, there's the pull by Miko, and Kram is in trouble. Can they deal enough damage? Answer might be no. Look at KLVJ. Kram very low, but survives.
Not enough damage.
And just like that, TNC stand their ground.
And we saw it because of the itemization of TNC. So many slows on their side there. That Omega trying to run away. It looked like they were trying to crawl away from all of that. And now the problem is, it doesn't seem like there's not enough damage coming out of the Celia as of the moment. TNC just looked way too tanky there.
Yeah, this, again, a great attempt from KELRA, but even better that Yasuo stayed alive there in that just onslaught. And the slows are there, obviously, right? So I feel like at this point, TNC able to buy themselves some more time. I don't think they're going to actually be able to push into the base until another either Lord fight happens or they somehow get a pick off with a conceal play, because what we're seeing is both teams, like you mentioned, Leo, they have great defense. I mean, they have great defense comps, right? They can defend as much as they want. They can clear those minions as much as they want. And the factors now are, does KELRA have the wind of, does he have the immortality? Is it available to him? Is the wind of nature available to him? Does Yasuo have it? Because Yasuo, by the looks of it, is just full-on damage, has a little bit of sustainability.
Hasklos as his build, no wind of nature. That's a very brave decision on the hands of one Beatrix. I think Yasuo is going to be juggling items around, but I think he's also banking on the idea that a lot of the resources KELRA would want to commit wouldn't be on Yasuo, it would be on Escalera, on taking down that Eve. So I think Yasuo is just going to keep his distance away from Escalera.
That's why. So that's why he's rocking the Renner here instead of the Wesker.
Yeah.
Well, next Lord now coming up here. TNC in the proper position, but here comes Omega as well. Both XP laners still planting themselves in similar lanes, but it looks like Renzio is going to come up for this one now. They know how crucial this Lord is, as again, it's been trades for Lords. And this is going to be a big one that decides who cracks into the base finally, because all turrets on both sides obviously still up here. Omega still has quite a bit of ways to go down that mid lane. They still have to deal with the tier 1. Conceal play comes out.
There it is, the immaculate pull by TNC, countered by the positioning by Omega. But can they get a kill? Ryzen already in. RWM taken out. Ryzen, Yasuo gets the kill. KLVJ secures it. And just like that, the turns have tabled. TNC had a great start, but now it's OMG who's calling the shots. In comes KELRA with a blazing duet. TNC back it out. Look at Renzio. He's fighting his man. Miko shuts him down. SDCYC scrambling. I'm on out of here.
Classic K&K. The king became the thief, stealing the Lord. KELRA says, I'm taking your life as well, TNC.
SD forgot he had the retribution. He was trying to fight in that fight, and the Lord was taken from KELVJ. He had the retribution earlier on and ended up using it to try to survive there. So just a tough situation for TNC, and now they have an even tougher Lord March to deal with on the top side. They're going to lose these turrets in the mid. And this is the defense that TNC needs to do to pull off here.
With Yasuo down, it's going to be a hard defense. They're lacking firepower. The Lord crashing into that top lane inhibitor. And right now, OMG, you're in your house. SD's gone down. Argument pulled by Escalera. Benzies is in trouble. Renzio blocking the way. Down he goes. Double kill for the king.
Yasuo's back.
Kram pull in a little bit of the attention, but he's going to fold. Down goes the Esmeralda. Immortality pop. There's the lethal counter. Winner trunket answer by Kram. It's not my time, not yet, but it is now. KLVJ gets another kill. That's a delayed triple for the king, and it's just Yasuo and Escalera on the defense.
Can they hold, though? Can they hold TNC? But Omega are being disciplined. They're being safe right now. They want to get the middle towers first.
Big. I mean, that was still an amazing defense for TNC. They were able to buy time on Kram alone, but did they buy enough? Because now they have to defend against the full force of Omega.
It's 2-5, 2 defenders, the brave Escalera and Yasuo. They're just gonna crash into the base. Ladies and gentlemen, the barangay take the series.
A win for smart Omega. A reverse sweep. Another one for the season. And now, dire straits for TNC as for their playoff dreams, they have to pull off something close to a miracle.
Yeah, and I know people at home